Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. I call to order the January 21st special meeting of the University of Minnesota Board of Regents. Thank you for joining us all, those of you here in the room, as well as those via the live stream. I will note that we have a number of regents joining us remotely, including Chair Mayron, given that she has asked me to serve as acting chair for today's meeting. With that, we will turn right into our business. Our only item of business today is to review and act on the resolution related to the proposed labor agreement with the Graduate Labor Union, United Electrical, Radio and Machine Workers of America Local 1105. With us today to share an overview of this agreement is Vice President Ken Horstman. Vice President Horstman, if you'll please join us, and please proceed when you are ready.
Acting Chair Kenyana, fellow members of the Board of Regents, thank you for the opportunity to discuss the recent agreement that has been ratified by the union, and we bring to you today for review and approval. First, I would like to take a moment to thank those actively engaged in this bargaining process. The Graduate Labor Union, United Electrical, Radio and Machine Workers of America Local 1105, also known as GLU-UE, and the university bargaining team both put in a persistent and continuous effort to come to this agreement. And I laud both sides for their effort and their acumen and their passion around this goal. This was a complex negotiation, and I would be remiss if I did not thank those supporting the bargaining teams on both sides for their leadership, their analysis, their support of their team and work. We have a number of individuals from both sides in the audience today, so thank you. This CBA covers approximately 4,500 graduate assistants enrolled in graduate programs at the University of Minnesota. These employees are spread across all system campuses and are included in University of Minnesota Unit 10 as defined by the Minnesota Public Employee Labor Relations Act. On November 23rd, 2024, the University of Minnesota and GLU-UE reached a tentative agreement on collective bargaining. And I'm going to share at a high level the main highlights, starting with a summary of economic highlights. Compensation in the first year sets the minimum GA pay level at $27 an hour. This will also include, for those below the $27 an hour rate, between $25.72 and $27, a 5% increase. Those at 27 and above will receive a 2% increase if they had received the merit pool action in 2024. And if they have not, they will receive a 5% increase. There's also a $250 per credit for GAs assigned as the instructor of record for a course. Upon ratification by the board, these changes will take effect on the pay period beginning January 13th of 2025, and the first paycheck will be paid on February 5th. Along with the financial resolutions, there were other benefits that were negotiated. 3 personal days each fall, spring, and summer term will be granted, and 5 days for international GAs to attend visa and immigration proceedings each academic year. On the medical and dental side, there will be an increased subsidy of the premium coverage from 75 to 85% for dependents, and the ability to enroll in health or dependent care flexible spending accounts. Under tuition benefits, there will be 100% tuition coverage for GAs who are required to take ESL courses as a condition of holding TA positions. There are also some memorandums of understanding regarding maintaining and increasing reproductive health benefits, training staff on the CBA requirements to ensure effective implementation and adherence to the CBA, and agreement to meet and confer regarding the GA's desire to opt out of paying the student services fees. There are offsets set over the first 3 years, as noted in this contract. There's also an MOU on academic progress reports, which will be an ongoing project here the first 16 months of this agreement. This agreement is covering the time period between today, January 21st of 2025 through June 30th, 2027. And wage adjustments, I will say again, are effective upon ratification and are not retroactive. The impact, as we can estimate for total costs recurring in year one will be 4.65 million. In year two, 8.125 million, and in the third year, 8.375 million. There are also several non-economic provisions covered, such as union rights, non-discrimination, inclusive work environment, health and safety, grievance procedures, and more. These are contract articles that exist in many other GA-CBAs nationally. The negotiations began on September 11th of 2023, and as I said, they concluded on November 23rd of 2024. Both teams, as I said, we are grateful to them. They met for approximately 55 full days of bargaining or mediation sessions during that time frame, and the union completed its contract ratification process on this past December 6th. With that, I ask for your approval of the collective bargaining agreement between the University of Minnesota and the Graduate Labor Union, United Electrical, Local 1105. And I stand for questions should you have them.
Thank you, Vice President Horstman. Allow me to echo, really on behalf of the board, our thanks to both teams for the efforts and the honest conversation and all the work that led to bringing us this agreement today. And you mentioned the effort that goes into the agreement, but then now implementing it, making sure that each graduate student is getting what what they deserve per each agreement, and then the education part. But before we jump into discussion, I know the president is also on the line and wanted to offer her a chance to add in any remarks.
Thank you, Kenyan. Is the echo with me?
Yeah, give it another shot.
Okay. I want to take a moment to express my enthusiasm and gratitude for all the tremendous work that led us here today. The leadership and perseverance demonstrated by so many individuals resulted in the Graduate Labor Union ratifying this very important first collective bargaining agreement with the University of Minnesota. As Vice President Horstman noted, this is a significant milestone that follows more than a year of the negotiations. I am excited that it will represent the interests of 4,500 graduate assistants across our Twin Cities and Duluth campuses. And just want to highlight that those discussions with the Graduate Labor Union were rooted in the core principles that we bring to all of our labor negotiations, bargaining in good faith with our labor unions and collaborating with our union partners for the betterment of our employees and our university. I know that this was a complex 3-year agreement that has been negotiated, much to the credit of all involved. Since my last update at the December board meeting, the work to successfully implement this agreement very quickly over the holiday break has been completed now in time for the start of the spring semester, with many thanks to all of the staff involved to make this important event happen without delay. So today really marks a new chapter in our relationship with graduate students who play a vital role in supporting and are advancing our powerful public mission. The agreement has been approved by the Graduate Labor Union, and I am very supportive of this agreement moving forward. Thank you so much, Vice Chair Kenyanya.
Thank you, President Cunningham. Before we turn to our discussion, I would entertain a motion to approve the resolution.
So moved.
Thank you, Regent Farnsworth. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
We got a second and a third. Thank you, Regents. It has been moved and seconded. Any discussion on the resolution? We'll start with Regent Farnsworth.
Thank you, Vice Chair Kenyanya. Thank you, Vice President Horstman, for the presentation. I don't want to add anything redundant, but simply wanted to offer my personal thanks, lifting up, celebrating this historic contract and step in the right direction. We talk a lot about workforce reinvestment here. This is a very critical and tangible step among other things that are happening at the university towards workforce reinvestment and the value that we've been prioritizing. So thank you all for your work on this, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes from here. Thank you.
Thank you, Regent Farnsworth. Regent Gully.
Similarly, I just want to say really quickly, congratulations to the graduate students. And I think that the work that you have done here will set us up well to just do the best that we can for our graduate students for generations to come. I know that getting into contract negotiations is only the last step of the process that you've been through, and you've been organizing for years to get here. And I'm very proud to vote yes on this contract, and congratulations again. And thank you for your work.
Thank you very much, Regent Gully. Any other questions or comments from Regents? Vice President Horstman, I suppose I'll throw mine out there. You talked about implementation. There's the administrative implementation that's happened, but then there's also the education for those that do work with and alongside the graduate assistants. And I think that was one of the items under the MOU. Can you talk a bit more about what that's going to look like? Because things have changed, and while you know what they are, and obviously the folks who are involved, there's all these people at the university that may need to be apprised of some of those changes. Can you talk about the plan of how we'll get there?
Well, I can talk at a broad level, and I'd ask one of my compatriots back here who's been working on the training to come forward. Coy Hillstead is our senior labor relations consultant, and he led the university side of the bargaining. We already have completed several modules of training that will be recorded as of last week, and they'll be shared with HR and supervisors in the coming week. There are short Zoom training sessions breaking down the contract itself into digestible bits. There is also a commitment to generate training and support for faculty as they work in this new environment, so they approach the relationship in a way that is in compliance with the contract. Coy, do you have anything to add?
No, we actually have started to roll out those training modules that Ken mentioned. So those are already in progress, and we have, that's from a formal perspective, but informally, we've been attending numerous departmental and leadership meetings to go over key provisions of the CBA and educate people about. But from a formal standpoint, those modules have already started to be rolled out.
Thank you. And can you introduce yourself for the record properly again?
Yep, Coy Hillstead. I'm in the Office of Human Resources in Employee and Labor Relations.
Thank you, Mr. Hillstead. That was a helpful answer. Vice President Horstman, another follow-up at a high level, of course, not specifics. From a board perspective also, is there, in terms of shared governance and, we, for example, we have two special committees, student affairs and workforce. Grad students actually, split the difference between those two. Are there some governance things we'll just kind of have to adjust to new ways of working about, again, at a high level, maybe not specifically?
Acting Chair Kenyana, members of the Regents, there are, and we can be in touch with your office with a follow-up guidance on that. If there are employment-related questions, those should go through the process as directed by the labor agreement. Academic matters have been set aside from the contract and are still handled outside of that for the most part. but we can follow up with more specific guidance on that.
Thank you. Very helpful. Again, thank you for the work to all involved, and this is a great outcome. I think this conversation just shows that there's some learning, for everyone to do, just to make sure that we're implementing and honoring the agreement correctly. Seeing no other questions, and with the resolution being moved, I think we can move to a vote. With the number of regents attending remotely, I'm going to request we do a roll call vote to make sure we get the tally accurately. Mr. Steves?
On the resolution to approve the collective bargaining agreement with the Graduate Labor Union, Regent Davenport.
Yes.
Regent Davenport votes yes. Regent Farnsworth.
Yes.
Regent Farnsworth votes yes. Regent Gully.
Yes.
Regent Gully votes yes. Regent Hipsch.
Yes.
Regent Hipsch votes yes. Regent Ruth Johnson.
Yes.
Regent Ruth Johnson votes yes. Regent Tad Johnson.
Yes.
Regent Tad Johnson votes yes. Regent Mayron.
Yes.
Regent Mayron votes yes. Regent Tayurabe.
Yes.
Regent Tayurabe votes yes. Regent Turner.
Very, very happy.
Regent Turner votes yes. Regent Verhalen.
Yes.
Regent Verhalen votes yes. Regent Wheeler.
Yes.
Regent Wheeler votes yes. And Chair Kenyanya.
Yes.
Chair Kenyanya votes yes.
Carry the one. Okay. The motion is unanimously approved. Congratulations to all. There being no additional business before the board, this special meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for your time, and stay warm.